at.
There we go. Now I'm talking. You can hear me, right?
Yep. Hey.
Perfect. Sorry, just getting everything all dialed in and synced up to the book face.
This morning's movement was hard. Holy shit.
Dude, those frog squat plank things were fucking hard, man. I was like,
yeah, I was thinking I'm very chest dominant, and shoulder strong, and I was really having a hard time.
Yeah, I was not doing those very well, and my carpet was kind of slipping. We need one of those little non-slip carpet mat pad things, so yeah, I was flying all over the place.
I was just doing it on my hardwood floor, and for some of the stuff on our knees, it wasn't very comfortable.
Yeah, and I have a hip problem since I was 5 years old. Yeah. And so I can't, my right leg doesn't do, I can't sit cross-legged very well. I can't even come close to lotus position. And it's just never going to happen for me. I'm not worried about it. Of all the things to worry about. So yeah, when I did the breathing and the meditation, I was just I'm going to sit and then I'm just going to lay my ass down. That's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't have necessarily a known problem, but I can't sit upright and meditate without a back of a chair or something. I can't do that for very long before getting pretty uncomfortable. So I have to be cross-legged against my couch or something.
Yeah. I mean, generally it is not a super comfortable position if you're not very flexible, if you're not mobile, if you have a tight posterior chain and stuff like that, so you can kind of work into it. But I've got a straight up problem, so I have an excuse to not even try. Yeah, you can probably see it whenever I sit. That's as low as I can go on my that's it. My left side's totally normal, but my right side, and it's not just that I'm clocked over, it's that that hip just doesn't do it. So if I sit cross-legged, I usually sit like this, 1 foot out. Hi, Murph. What'd you get there? What is this? What'd you find, buddy? This looks like a piece of molding from our bathroom demolition. So thank you, buddy. Thanks for that. You can't have it back. Why don't you go find your ball? Where's your ball? Go find something else. Or a stick. Find something organic. No, cannot have. You cannot have. No, not for you. I know, it's really warm out. It's really nice. It's supposed to be 78 degrees today. It's gonna be so good. Zena, how are you this morning, or afternoon, I guess now? Doing well? Good day? Very nice. Looks like Patrick is finishing up the deadlifts from part 1. We'll see if anybody else straggles in to join us today. Murph, are you gonna straggle in?
Oh.
Who's hopping in? Oh, Galen's hopping in. Very nice. Good to see you, Galen. How are you, bud?
Oh.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey.
How are those deadlifts feeling?
Good. I mean, I did 7 on my top set right now, so it's still pretty easy, I guess.
Did you go up in weight from your last cycle?
Yeah, I did a 10-pound increase.
Nice.
So last time I did 7, and this time I did 7. So
Nice.
I probably could have cranked out.
I'm struggling. Go ahead.
I probably could have cranked out an 8 rep. Again, like in conventional, I'm still building confidence in my strength.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a high-class humble brag problem that my front squat is way stronger than even my power clean. So I can't load, and I don't have a rack at home, so I can't load up enough to front squat to actually challenge myself on the front squats because I can't hit that power clean very well. And I'm not confident on my power clean here because I have already like aggressively pulverized the corner of my driveway. Yeah. There's a big divot right there. So let's not show my wife that one. And then on the deadlifts, my other problem.
You have to keep that mat there forever.
It's kind of going to live there forever. But then on the deadlifts, my problem is that like I didn't bring home enough weight.
One leg.
So,
one leg.
You can borrow some of mine. I'm not using all of them.
yeah. I need I need a pair of steel 100s. Just one pair, because they're narrower. They don't take, and on a deadlift, it doesn't matter that they're steel. And then I can cram more weight on there. So if I just had some. If I could just jump up by that, then I'd be totally fine. Last week I tried to do, and it was only at my 95%, but I was trying to like load up all my 95%, and I put on all the weight that I brought home, and it was still like 30 pounds short. And so I took my 2 15-pound dumbbells, and I tried to balance them on top of the dumbbell, the barbell. So like, and immediately, as soon as I started to lift, they just both started falling. I was like, no, never mind, we're good.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, high class problem.
Yeah, hard problem.
I'm staying nice and strong. Like that's good. I'm definitely my lifting belt is definitely fitting on the looser notches only. That is not pretty. Come on, pups, let's go inside. Too many dogs out here. Although I saw a really great post. It was a really simple post. But it was a good, what? Oh, just the pole fell over. I saw a really good, effective post that was by this CrossFit athlete out of Australia. She's actually really funny. And she's also, if you've ever followed the Instagram handle, that's CrossFitter with a sign. It's just a bunch of photos of her holding like a cardboard sign that she's handwritten, just like this. And it says like various funny things. And like one of them like, before the pandemic and everything, it was like, ladies add 10 kilos, guys drop 10 kilos. And it was like, yeah, it's probably good, obvious advice, right? But she's obviously a pretty good athlete herself. But there's a video of her just in a bikini. And she's clearly put on like some fluff like we all have. And she's just like, whatever, like sort of posing and like looking cute, and, like feeling herself. And then like the caption was all about like, body positivity, which I'm totally for. It's like, yeah, we're all fluffy right now. It's fine. We still feel good and hopefully, and then like, we're moving and we're strong and all that fluff can be taken back off. It's fine. We'll get back in the gym and we'll do like a cardio cycle or something, or like a lot more interval stuff, and we'll get back on our diets. But for right now, it's fine. I had 2 bowls of cereal this morning and I don't feel badly about it. I refuse to allow you to shame me, Galen.
No, it's like all egg and cheese sandwiches every day over here.
Oh yeah, I do. If I'm actually, when I'm being pretty good, I'll have like an egg and cheese tortilla wrap thing. That's my jam. But today I felt like some carbs and some dairy, so I just had good old fashioned bowls of breakfast cereal. Honey Bunches of Oats, and one was Honey Bunches of Oats, one was cashew. So, and I don't care. At least I'm not eating Fruit Loops, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I do like fruit.
All right, guys. I mean, that's just an excuse to have dessert for breakfast. That's not, there's no food in that food.
Yeah,
you can at least make
hungover at a hotel.
Tell me that. I love Honey Bunches of Oats.
Yeah, it's like it's exactly, it's the sales conference diet. It's like where you're just like, oh, there's a buffet with everything. It's like, I haven't had Fruit Loops for breakfast, and Captain Crunch. Yeah, we're gonna have that. Just turn the little knobby thing on the. Yeah. Anyway, I used to go to a lot of sales conferences. Okay, guys. Part 1 today. Let's talk about our movements for part 1. We are doing 12 minutes, and we are going to increase reps each round of 2 different movements. So we want to have some dumbbells, ideally. And ideally, there are heavier dumbbells. If you've got a couple of different pairs, go heavy on these because we're going to increase our load, our reps, but not necessarily the load. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate with my 50s. The first movement we're going to do are just dumbbell deadlifts. So we want to start just like as if we had our barbell. We want to keep that weight close to our center line so we're not being pulled out forward. We're just going to hurt that low back. So hips go back, we reach down, we grab our dumbbells. And once we've done 1 rep, you can sort of cock your wrists forward so that only one head of the dumbbell has to go down each time. Okay? And so from the side, you can see that I'm still keeping my back flat the whole time. Okay, so those are our dumbbell deadlifts, starting out with 3 reps. Then you're going to go down into a plank position, and you're going to do renegade rows. So you're going to go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay, we're pulling our hand into our armpit, and we're trying to avoid clocking those hips. Just like when we're doing plank shoulder taps, we want to try to quiet down that movement, but since we're going to be under load, it's going to be tough to do that. So 3 dumbbell deadlifts, then 3 renegade rows on each. Okay, then our second round is going to be 6 and 6, then 9 and 9, 12 and 12, and so on, adding 3 reps each round until we run out of time. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, so on, for 12 total good work. Okay, so these are, yeah.
Renegade rows, are your feet spread out? Or are they together?
It's going to be harder if your feet are narrower, okay? Easier to go a little bit wider with your feet. But we want to avoid that tick-tocking. So if you've got to go a little bit wider with the feet so that your hips don't rock so much, that's totally fine. I think I'll show you when I'm doing them with 50s, when I'm going pretty heavy. If I'm here, narrow, you can see how much my hips turn.
Yeah.
As opposed to if I'm wide,
yeah,
my hips don't turn.
Yeah.
Okay? So challenge yourself to keep those hips from turning as narrow as possible. Zena, if you're pretty good with your setup.
Zena, did you get actual weights yet?
Yeah, she's got some dumbbells. She just borrowed some from the gym. No renegade rows with tuna cans. Yeah.
Holy shit, those are hard.
All right, guys.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're definitely hard. All right.
holy cow.
So avoid it being starting the lawnmower. Okay. We don't want all of that. You know, you want to keep that pressure in that one hand and just isolate that movement without getting into a big like archer position, right?
Yeah.
This is good. This is good for bow hunting.
Yeah. It's the back muscles.
Both movements. That's going to always help us out. All right, let me set up our clock for 12 minutes of fun, and we will get you started. Got it. Make sure all you monkeys are muted. All right. Starting in 10 seconds. 12 minutes, counting up by threes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, get started. All right, guys, you're just 2 minutes into this, so you're going to climb into those early rounds fast, and then you're going to be slogging through some later rounds. So keep that momentum going. You're doing great. Looking good, guys. Way to keep those hips from clocking too much. I can see you're moving really carefully, keeping that belly tight. That's the idea. All right, guys, 7 minutes down, 5 to go. Looking good. You're into those higher rounds. Keep on going. Take breaks where you need them, but keep it moving as best you can. All right, guys, 3 minutes to go. Looking strong. All right, sub 2 minutes to go here, guys. You're almost finished. Final minute, guys. Final minute. Let's get a few more reps in there. Almost done. $30 left. 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. 12 minutes is done. Very nice. Yeah, that got you, huh?
Renegade rows are so hard.
Yeah, they're definitely hard. And it's really easy to challenge yourself on those with just even a moderate weight. I mean, especially that volume. That's a decent volume. What round did you guys get into?
I just finished the 18 rep.
The 18? Yeah. So that's 18 plus 15 plus 12 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3. So that's 63 Renegade rows per side. That'll get you. Good work. Galen, where'd you get into?
Finished 18.
What round? Finished 18. There you go. Good.
Starting
Nina?
on-
I did 24. And I
Oh, nice.
Beast. Beast.
have very small dumbbells. It helps.
Hey, that's okay though. Totally fine. Working on that COVID fluff, that COVID-19.
Yes.
Higher or lower weight, higher reps. That gets that heart rate up.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Of course, I'm talking to 3 of our like leaner people in the gym here. No one here is getting all that fluffy. No one was all that fluffy to begin with. So you guys are in solid shape on that. Very, very good. Well, catch your breath and hydrate because today it's definitely hot. I know Zena and Galen, you guys are indoors, but it was warm enough for Galen to take the shirt off. So get a little hydration in there. Make sure that you're keeping cool. Definitely, if you guys get some water.
I'm sweating so much. It's just
I'm just standing here watching you guys, and I like the black shirt is like hot. I'm not looking forward to demonstrating the next movements because I think I have to be on the mat. So that's all right. My job. It's definitely toast. This is like one of the hotter days that we've had this year. So I think I saw 78 was the expected high for the day. So I'm definitely going to take advantage and try to stay outside today, get some good sunshine. You should do the same if you can. And I got Vic's, you can see it in the background over here, her old fire table that wasn't working for her. And it took me about 5 minutes to fix it.
Oh, no.
I was like, man, like on a level I wish I had known and I would have fixed it for you. I was like, you wouldn't have to go through the hassle, but they gave her a free one to replace it. And so she gave me the old one, which I fixed. So now we both have fire fish, but it works beautifully. We got to get some new lava rocks for it. But other than that, it's like $10 for some lava rocks.
Like a gas.
It's propane. So we in the back, maybe you can see off in the back there. We have like a fire bowl that we did like a campfire, like a straight up campfire, and but it's like so smoky that all our shit, like we had to immediately wash everything. And it's like a real campfire is fun when you're camping and like you just expect to smell terrible, but on like a Tuesday, you don't want to do that. So this is way better.
My sister has a fire pit in her backyard, and she would always invite me over to sit around. And I'm like, man, I don't want to smell like campfire like 3 nights a week. Like, fuck.
It's so nice though. Like fires are so nice to sit around. But yeah, it's that smell. You can't do it. But then the trade-off is that the propane ones don't really put out all that much heat. Although we just fired this one up yesterday, and it's pretty decent. Like it actually like radiates pretty well. So. And it's never that cold. We're not going to be like all like shivering in our igloos here. Like we're fine. It's California after all. All right, guys. Well, while you continue to catch your breath, let me talk to you about our movements for part 2. And I may need to take off these headphones to do it because I'm going to get upside down. So we've got 3 movements. A couple of them we've done before. The inverted burpee may be a little bit new for you. So we're going to talk about first our wall walks. So we want to be facing away from our wall to start out with. And we're going to plant our hands just like we're doing a handstand push-up, but we're going to end up trying to touch our nose to the wall. So hopefully this door stays for me. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take these off. Hopefully you can still hear me, and my neighbor's having a good time. And we're going to get here into my handstand. Walk. And walk. Woo. Okay, so that is really, really hot on my hands. That was not pleasant at all. But you guys have seen the wall walks before. So we're walking our hands, trying to touch our nose to the wall, and then coming back on out. Now, if we're being like super diligent and super virtuous with our movement, we're starting in a full plank position, totally horizontal, and walking up to all the way vertical. So if you're good at these, Zena, then maybe that's your movement standard, making sure that you're really challenging yourself on these. If not, and you can only start sort of in a half plank, and kick your feet up to a 45-degree angle and then come back on down, totally fine, okay? These are definitely hard, and these are a scale of a handstand walk. So if that's something that you've been working on and something you've been trying to do, I know we started our gymnastics course and then got quarantined out of that, but it's definitely a way to get that strength of shifting your weight in your hands, right, in that overhead position, and develop your handstand walkability. So movement number 1 is our wall walk. You're going to give me each round 3 wall walks, okay? Then you're going to do the inverted burpee. So this is, again, one that we did in gymnastics class a couple times. Now, again, I'm going to show you just a scaled version because I can't even do the full version of it. The full version ends in a freestanding handstand, and so that's just not happening for me. So we're going to start all the way down on the ground, and you're going to bring those feet up. And the goal here is to go all the way into a handstand here, all right? But instead, I'm just going to bring myself up to standing.
Wait,
I don't think I can do
You're not.
a handstand, but I don't even understand how that becomes a free hand. Like, is it after you get up, you would then flip over and then do it?
Are you supposed to go over your feet on your hands?
What you're trying to do in a full version is you're not doing that jump. You're actually staying in a sort of a froggy position.
Okay, so you're not ever putting your feet down on the ground as you roll through.
Well, it's like
you're actually going.
Oh,
so you're like going through your legs, sort of.
Interesting.
Again, I'm not very good at it at all. If you actually go into Beyond the Whiteboard, I think it shows you the full demo version of it.
So then could you do that against a wall and then, like, I wouldn't end up doing it freestanding.
Oh my God.
Right. Easy peasy.
So I could kick up against a wall. I don't think I can do it freestanding.
Oh, okay, so it is over the feet.
You just keep rolling through and go up.
You just keep rolling through, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. Got it.
Yeah. Sitting back down carefully.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Nope.
All right. So it's definitely a challenging position, okay? So if that is not working for you for today, you are in good company, all right? I'm right there with you. So if that's just coming to your feet and doing a little hop up, that's totally, totally fine. Okay, and then our third and final movement is our jumping alternating lunges. So standing in our standing position, jumping alternating lunges.
For the jumping alternating lunges, is each lunge a rep, or is it one on each side constantly?
Back. We're gonna, because that's an odd number, we're gonna go right, left is one.
Okay.
Okay. Keep that even. 3, 6, 9. 3 wall walks, 6 inverted burpees, and 9 jumping alternating lunges. We are going to do 5 rounds of this. And we've got plenty of time. I think this is going to take us about 15 minutes. Okay, but I'm going to cap it at 20 since we've got the time. Make sure you're good with your modifications, that you're not going to put a heel through the wall or fall on your face.
Can you give me 1 second to put Bruce away so it doesn't bother me on the?
Yeah, by all means. We don't want a giant yellow lab falling all over you.
Hey, are you using your hands to get off your butt after for the reverse?
I am, yes, because I'm terrible at these. But ideally, you are having hands over your head and you're throwing your hands forward as though you're getting into a handstand. If you're doing a really good quality handstand, like a gymnastic handstand, you're not just planting your hands and then kicking up in a static position. You're actually going dynamically into it. So again, I'm going to take off my headphones. Hopefully you can still hear me. So instead of being here and kicking up, okay, a real gymnastic handstand is going to start back here and kick up. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a really good way to develop that and still maintain that tight midline, still stay nice and organized. So going all the way from the ground, all the way into that throw, as opposed to just from standing. So definitely challenging, tough movement. Okay. Ready to party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, get you guys on mute. Here we go. Starting in 10 seconds. 3, 6, 9. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. 5 rounds for time. Very nice, Ina. Good attempts there. Those are really, really good. I know it feels goofy, but those are great. Looking good, guys. You're 5.5 minutes in. I see about the third round, middle of the third round for you guys. Looking good. 5 total rounds of this. Coming up on that 8-minute mark, guys. Looks like that's the end of the 4th round for Galen. I see him going there. Good. Patrick, you're either done or doing the world's slowest inverted burpee. Just kidding, man. All right, Zena, looks like this is last round. All right, that's 10 minutes right there, guys. Looking great. Nice, Zena. Those are getting good. I jinxed you. Nice work. 12:25, I think is what it was. Galen, I don't know if you're still with us. I can't see you. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's done.
You're done? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Nice job. Nice job, guys. Really good. Yeah, those were tough, huh? It was
I almost
a
went over
weird thing
backwards
that
on
we
one of
don't
the inverted burpees.
almost like fell over after the tea kettle?
Overhead.
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk, right? And, so many things I'm disappointed about with this whole shelter in place, but we were just getting good into our gymnastics program. And I was just getting personally getting some development on those inversions that I'm just not good at. And the first thing Chris did with those was teaching us how to roll out of stuff. So going from a handstand position into a forward roll so that when you do work on that freestanding handstand or any of those progressions, that you can tuck your chin, roll out of that carefully, and you take out that fear element of going over, and then you're willing to go there. Because it's oh shit, I went too far. Oh, I rolled out of it. Oh, I didn't go high enough. I mean, that's easy falling backwards out of it, but going forward out of it is not that much more difficult. It's just you got to know how to roll and not knock the wind out of yourself, which I have definitely done.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I was bummed on so many levels about stuff, but not getting to work more on that. And it's just like that, today, you guys would not have done this stuff. Maybe Zena would have done some handstand progression stuff. She likes to do her handstand work all the time. But if you don't work on this stuff, you're not going to get better at it. And if you're not having someone do it, tell you to do fucking wall walks, you're not going to do wall walks or inverted burpees. So you're welcome is what I'm trying to say.
That was great. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
No, maybe honestly, I need to take my own medicine. I really need to do this one today. On the days when I don't feel like doing the WOD, I'll just go for a run. And like today is absolutely a glorious day to go for a run, but maybe I need to like bite the bullet and actually do this one because,
Dude,
I mean, I'm still going to deadlift like all the weights. So like, that's just going to happen. But maybe I need to do this one.
well,
So I thought if you do today's WOD or part A and B, I thought the part A, the Renegade rows, was really hard after doing the morning thing with the plank push-up things.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, also consider, I mean, you basically did 4 elements today. You did the morning move piece, you
Yeah.
deadlifted,
yeah.
and you did the deadlift and Renegade row workout. Then you just did this one. Like, you earned yourself a big old bowl of elk steak or whatever, or elk chili, whatever you got in there.
Yeah, antelope stir fry or something.
Antelope. That's what.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of work. I mean, any 1 or 2 of those is going to be plenty of workout. And I've been really pleased with the amount of work that Move, Breathe, Meditate class has. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's just like, it's a good way to start my day without like feeling like, oh, that's all I can do today. So
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
look at us. We look like Team Sequoia. Look at us.
I
All
know.
matchy today.
dude, I ordered a shirt, so I'll have one of the
Oh,
shirts.
you ordered the new one? Good.
Corby's
Yeah,
gonna
we
get,
hit our minimums on that one. I'm going to keep reminding you guys that we hit our minimum order on that just fine. So the orders close on Saturday. You have through the Saturday to order if you want one. And then the orders close, they will print them and then ship them directly to your address. So I ordered 2 for myself, or 1 for myself, 1 for my wife. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to those. It'll be the same shirt as this, the same cut shirt, same nice quality.
Corby has
Always
concerns
with the
about,
Pelican.
Corby has concerns about her not being legit enough. I told her she's plenty legit to get a shirt.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, I mean,
For that,
anyone can buy the shirt. Totally fine. That like I'll take that retail purchase any day. But like
Advertising a gym.
she's been more consistent than a lot of our members.
okay, I'll reinforce the message.
Yeah. Did you order her one?
Not yet. I was waiting for clarity.
Okay. And she gets one. She's allowed. She can wear it with pride.
See you later. Take care.
All right, kids.
Yes.
Hey,
Have a
Matt,
good rest
I
of your
have
day.
a
Go outside, get some sunshine.
I have a
Yeah, go
question
ahead. I'm in no rush.
for you about thrusters. I'm just so bad at them, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do them correctly.
Mhm.
So let me see if I can set up the camera right. to
Yeah,
capture.
yeah. Let's do a little movement evaluation. Yeah, knock that down a little bit so I can see everything. Come
Well,
down an angle. There you go.
okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So what I notice when I'm doing thrusters, and I don't know if it's the front rack mobility issue, but like when I'm up here, I want to have my fingers, like the bar just on my fingertips. Like I don't have a full hand grip. And this is the most comfortable thing for me to be doing the front squat portion. And then transitioning into the overhead, like if I'm full like fingertip, when I do that, that overhead, like I have a tendency to keep my wrist broken like that. You see, where I'm going up like that and then coming back down, rather than like going up and flexing into a straight wrist and then coming back down.
Mhm.
And if I do like 95 pounds on thrusters, my wrist broken like that, it hurts my wrist so bad to do that.
Yep.
And I had to, like when I did,
Yeah, that is.
I had to put wrist wraps on just to avoid the pain, but I still had like my wrist completely like this the entire time, like from shoulder over to shoulder overhead. Is it
You
recommended?
absolutely answered your question.
Wrist wraps?
You already answered your own question there. No. Yes, yes. You're already hitting all of the points, and the answer is it totally depends. Okay, so when you're in that front rack position, yes, with a front squat, the way we coach you is to keep that bar as close to your midline as possible. All right. So I go 2 fingers on. Okay, I don't know if you can see from that distance,
Yeah, I can see.
but I am 2 fingers on. All my fingers are off, but I can't. So that allows me to take the most advantage of whatever front squat or whatever shoulder mobility I have to keep that bar right over my center line as I front squat. Now, even though a thruster is a front squat to an overhead press, and I want to stay in that same range of motion, I can't because of grip. And you can see the angle of my wrist is insane. Okay, I also wear wrist wraps, but that's a personal choice. So if I go into my full grip, however, right, I can't get my elbows quite as high. You can see immediately the difference. So my elbows drop, and as I go into my front squat, that makes it a little bit more challenging to get overhead. Now, with this empty bar, you can see my wrist. You can still see I got a little bit of flex back in my wrist, but it's not all the way back there in my fingertips because I've got that closed grip. We don't also want to be totally straight with our wrist because then that puts a lot of pressure on the thumb, and that bar can roll forward and clunk you in the head, which is going to be a real bad day. So you've got to find a happy medium that works for you, and that's going to that's probably going to be a closed grip, elbows up, okay, the best you can, not as good as a front squat, but not that bad. Fight for that mobility each time. Now, I do see people all the time with a relatively closed grip go into a higher elbow front rack position with an open wrist and do a transition into that position. I see that with a jerk as well, okay? I'll see people right here, and they'll go into a jerk there and roll those wrists over. I do not do that, and I don't like to coach it because that transition, when you are unloading that bar, gets very sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm throwing a bar over my head without a full grip on it, or like.
So think about your options here. Think about what's going on. You can either sacrifice that elbow height, which is bringing that elbow down, bringing that bar off your center line, and so you have to fight to have that good mobility. So you're either fighting to have good mobility in your front squat and staying safer, or using the angle of your hand and doing something a little bit sketchier. So I'm going to always encourage and coach you to fight for that better shoulder mobility. So if that means before you do Fran or you do any thruster workout, you lay on a lacrosse ball and hit those rhomboids and really loosen up those shoulders, the lats, all that stuff on a foam roller to help fight for that good front rack position with a closed grip, you're going to not only improve your mobility, but you're going to be moving safer and have a better grip on that thruster bar. And unless you're in the CrossFit games and you're fighting for Matt Frazier for thrusters, you know, it doesn't matter if if you're just that much faster. I'd rather you move a little better and I'll move a little bit safer.
Yeah, my main concern with it was just that, like, if I'm ever doing something that I'd like to do RX weight, like, I don't know whether it's better to just have that completely broken wrist and just go with the thing that's easier on the squat and the mobility, or vice versa. So
the short answer.
I have to find that happy medium.
So my short answer is close the grip on a thruster, sacrifice that elbow height. So even though that's pulling the bar off your front rack, all right, and pulling it forward, right, fight for that position and keep that wrist really stable and strong, okay? And to your point about wrist wraps, like, definitely wear your wrist wraps if that's a pain point for you. I broke both of my wrists at different times in my life, so I have soft tissue damage inside my wrists, and they just hurt when I am ever doing anything overhead. I wear wrist wraps a lot. So presses, jerks, bench press, anything overhead, I'm wrapped up, right? Only really deadlifts and back squats do I not wrap up. So yeah, wear the wraps. It hinders that mobility, but it creates some stability, which again, I'm always going to err on the side of stability. So you got a little bit of a turnover there, but that's good. That's a good, safe position.
Okay. Yeah, and with just the bar, I think I can actually get more of a full grip on it. It's just as soon as I start loading weight, it's like when I go into the bottom of my squat, my front rack, it's rolling down, and that full grip that I get doesn't feel like you can hold the bar because the bar is rolling off. That's like the main.
That was exactly that was the next point. You jumped ahead of my next response, which is absolutely that. When you're doing an empty bar thruster and just demonstrating right now, no problem, do whatever you need to do. But once you put 95, 135 more on that bar for that thruster, that flex open hand position, it's going to be harder to turn over, harder to catch that bar. Your pinky might get caught. You lose the bar, and that bar going overhead, sitting close to your midline, that's going to crack you in the skull, and that's going to ruin your fucking day. So let's not do this. Let's not play it fast and loose just to like go a little bit quicker on the rep. Let's instead work on the mobility, get better in those shoulders so we can have a lockdown closed fist grip.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. Realize it. Like I really need to figure that out when I just to see what I could do. Maxed out on my clean and jerk, and when I was doing it, I had 3 fingers on my right side, and when I punched overhead, I thought I would slide that pinky around, and I didn't, and the bar came down on that pinky, and it still hurts. Like it still isn't right, and that was day 2 of the quarantine. Like all right, Matt, thank you for the tips. I'll work on.
Yeah, and you know, for you personally, I know I tease you a lot, and you take my teasing in the right way, but I know I tease, but like really the best thing for you individually is to really work on your mobility everywhere. I mean, the ranges of motion you've got the ranges of motion, you're just not as used to it's just your kinesthetic awareness of it. It's not even a mobility issue for a lot of those, like for your squats and stuff like that. You can get there. You're just not as used to it. And so those end ranges of motion and really fighting for that mobility is going to take you to like leapfrog you ahead in that next level. And it's going to help you. I know you're really correctly cautious about your back. That's going to help you maintain that low back stability when you're deadlifting, when you're doing anything else. So when in doubt, do some mobility stuff.
God, I hate mobility stuff.
I know, we all do. We all do. CrossFitters don't like to stretch or run, but that's kind of what we need to do. Welcome to CrossFit.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Matt.
All right, bud. Take care. Have a good one.
Yep. You too. See ya.